Hey guys, right, so we're back at SRautobodies for an update on the 352JZ. As you may be able to tell, Steve has now moved premises. We're in the newer, shinier workshop. So a lot's been going on since we've last caught up. I did have a video of the welding and bits and pieces going on in the rear end. Unfortunately, me being me, that's not brilliant with cameras and stuff, because I was changing the memory card between two cameras to try and catch some footage with my little action camera. I managed to reformat the card and lose all the footage I did. So the last time you saw this, the car was, I think, just come back from blasting a bit, especially when we were looking at the shell. It's jumped on a long way since then. Most of the tube work and everything's done in the, well, the back end of the car's done, all the tube work's done. We've now got a half rear cage built that Steve's sort of taken out so he can weld all around the tops and everything. That's ready to go back in now and be welded into place, so he can do the restoration on the floor underneath the driver's seat and the bits on the tunnel and everything that need doing. And then the front part of the cage will be going in. We've mocked most of the fuel system up now to look at where we're going to lay out the tank and the swirl, pumps, everything like that. As you can tell, it's a busy old place, so I'll take you inside and we'll have a look round. Feel it, just put your finger over the end, and you'll actually blow the grip, and then it'll agitate it again. Right, so as you can see behind me, we've finally got the 2J in the hole, which is an awesome feeling. So that's in its final proper mock-up. You can see this obviously on the cross brace. I'm using Vibratechnic 350Z engine mounts on the subframe, and then Steve's going to make some custom mounts to bolt to the block, just so I've got a small bit of flex, so like under load and stuff the engine can move a touch. So obviously the box is on the back of it. We've bumped it back literally as far as it will go. It's not back as far as some of the others, but obviously the gearboxes on those are skinnier, and then the big shiny inlet is pretty much as back as far as that'll go as well. And obviously the selector, I don't want to run like a reverse mount selector. A nice little tune, one of Steve's drills just finishing charging. So that's in, and that's just that the mount's made up, so that's a massive bit of progress. I'm really pleased with that. And then my really nice Sparco circuit seats we've got sat in at the moment. I was sat in there earlier for for a little while, actually pretending I was driving, but now they're in, sort of just give us an idea and a feel of mainly headroom and stuff. Make sure we're gonna, because I'm as you probably all know, I'm a real tall guy, so I just want to make sure I can clear everything with a helmet. I had a helmet on and everything, just testing, making sure I've got plenty of headroom above me. That's one thing I've struggled with a bit in my PS, is like clearance between the crash helmet and the roof is like really small. I've banged made a couple of times off of it. So they're sort of sat in, but the big bit we've got at the moment, just got them lights so you can hopefully see it a lot clearer, is, like I say, unfortunately I managed to reformat the card in the camera from last time when Steve and Charlie were bending all this up and making these stunning crash bars up for me. They're individual corners, so obviously if I get into anything in that corner, it doesn't push everything over, it just does the one corner. Well, I say they're absolutely amazing. I'm so pleased with them, like work of art. And then we've got the top bit, which is again removable, so the bottom, each corner is individual and removable. Top piece that'll have the locking pins for the boot lid and everything, that's all removable. And then we go into the main structure coming down. Got my jacking point and everything down there. We've kept it just curved and round tube, so it can't dig into anything into the ground if I go up and over something. It should just, everything should just, it should ride up on rather than dig in and cause me issues. Obviously rear rad should really keep everything lovely and cold. We had the fans going earlier actually, and the air they pull was nuts. And then we started laying out and mocking up the fuel system. Stunning tank from OBP, swirl pot. And we've got the pumps and everything. We have a filter and the splash bowl, and then we've got this piece Steve's had made up's really nice. 2AN20 ends for the radiator to run through, and it's like a bleed off and everything. The highest point will mount that up on the cage, and then I mean, look at those two X's in that cage. And it is really tight in there, but at the moment it's not actually welded into place. Steve's made these boxes that are just amazing. Like, they actually, at the moment, they've got lids on them that come off, so we can take the whole back piece out, so we can weld round everything out in the open, so we can get to everything at every angle, and then put it in. And then once he's happy with everything there, he can weld the bottoms in, weld the back into that back bar, and then the resto can start on the front, because obviously he's got a bit to do there, because it was some rust bits and pieces that are in the car, and a certain person it's not very good with the disc cutter. Decided to cut some of the rust out in bits and pieces before Steve and SR got involved with the project and the build. So I naively thought I was really good, knew what I was doing, and cut some of the rust out. So I've given him a bit of work there, but he's got to repair all that, repair the rust. Unfortunately, like I've shown you before, when it came back from blasting, it's a bit rustier than we thought. But we put these, you may recognise the back wheels. We just put them on to get an idea of effect and how the car sort of sits and looks, and hopefully will sit. I promise Alex Laura I will keep like a really nice low arch gap for you, so you don't sort of shout at me. Yeah, it's really coming on. I'm really pleased. I'm just really gutted I lost that footage of the welding and the pipe bend and everything going on, but like I say, I'm still really learning with the cameras and bits and pieces, so it was just an unfortunate mistake, but you get to see it in all its glory. So I mean, if you go back and watch the other video, you'll see the car when it was, how it come back from the blasters and bits and pieces, and you'll sort of see how far it's jumped on. And this has given me a real enthusiastic boost, like with the engine sat in its final resting place, just the mounts to make up and the gearbox and everything, the seats in, so I know the seats are sort of going to fit. I was a bit worried when I first bought the seats that they might be a little big for the car, but with 350s, like some of you probably know, the floor's really low in them. They're quite deep, so they actually sit really nice in there, so I'm really pleased about that. I should have plenty of headroom for my lanky self. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Still a long way to go, but we're getting there, and it's starting to really come together now and look really nice. I'm really pleased with where it's going on. Like, it's just next level. Right, so I'm just back from SRautobodies. As you can see, the progress is awesome. I'm really pleased. It feels like a real milestone now that engine's sort of sat in there ready for the mounts to be made and everything. The car's really starting to come together. With putting the seats in, the engine and box in and everything like that, it's really starting to look like a car again. Obviously coming from a pretty much chopped up bare blasted shell, I'm really starting to see it come together. I can sort of see what it's gonna look like. I'm pleased everything I've bought for it fits and seems to work fine. The Collins adapter kit seems to be perfect. We had no issues chucking that together and putting it in. The engine fits nicely. I'm really pleased with where we've got that. The seats, I was a little worried that they might be a bit too big, but the seats fit in there perfect. I'm really chuffed with that. We're pretty happy with how we've got the fuel system sort of mocked up and laid out. That should work perfectly. The radiator I got fits perfect. And the new SRautobodies shop is awesome. It's got some crazy projects coming up in that. So I look forward to seeing that. And look forward to getting back down there in a few weeks. He's got a couple of other bits he needs to do on a couple of other cars as well. But I've got a couple of bits to get for him. I've got a bit of a shopping list I've come away from. So I've got to get a few bits, sort of lift pumps and bits and pieces we're going to need, and I need to head back down there so we can get this. I think I'll be cutting up the spare Z shell we were kindly donated. I've got to cut some of the floor out of that so we can use that to replace some of the rotten stuff that's in mine, which should be pretty straightforward. I think I'm just going to cut big sections, so I'll make sure I take you with me to film all that. And yeah, and then I've just got to get all these parts, so there'll be more and more boxes turning up again with bits and pieces. So make sure you head over to the SRautobody Facebook page, like and share that. That'll keep you up to date with all the craziness that's going on there. And the next event, I'm actually heading down to Liverpool tomorrow to see drift shifters on Sunday, the Red Bull drift shifters. So I'm obviously taking you guys, the camera, with me to film all of that for a weekend in Liverpool and seeing car pinball. Really excited about it. I've had these tickets booked for quite a while, so I'm really looking forward to just seeing what it's all about. I saw the event in New Zealand that Mike put on the other year, and it looked really good, and I was absolutely buzzing for when I found out they were going to be doing one in the UK, and I was like, well, I've got to go. It's one of them events you just can't miss. Hopefully I may see a few of you there, which will be awesome. Catch up with a couple of friends as well, and fingers crossed the weather holds off and it stays dry for us, and it's going to be a cracking weekend. But regardless, it's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, obviously like below, comment, share, and let me know if there's anything you want to see, anything I can improve on. Like I always say, I'm still learning with all of these, so I'm trying to improve them. But if there's anything else you want to see with the car, SRautobodies, anything like that, just let me know, and I'll do my best to film it and get it in for you. Cheers for watching, and I shall see you in a couple of days in Liverpool.